Does your M&P-15, Ruger AR556, or other off-the-shelf AR-15 look like mine here? Do you want it to? Let's talk Level 2 M&P-15 upgrades. Hey guys, Randy here with AT3 Tactical, and this upgrade video right here, this one is different. Why is that? Because we are not going to hash over the same 7 or 8 upgrades that we touched on in the Ruger AR556 upgrade video. That's Bush League stuff. Today, we will need a handful of tools, a little torch or heat source, and my favorite of all, the BFH. Let's get right to it. Today, we are swapping out the factory OEM gas block for a low profile block, which will open the floodgates for handguard options that you can slap on here. We're also throwing in a shiny new hot pink bolt catch for demonstration purposes, and we'll be getting rid of that trashy MilSpec trigger. Yeah, I said it, for something a lot smoother. So away we go. So let's get the big job out of the way first. That is the gas block. And no, guys, it's not illegal. These are commercially available parts online, and these are tools that you and I already have in our garage. You can think of it exactly like putting new rims on your truck. It's out with the old, it's in with the new. That said, we also have a certified gunsmith here in-house who approved and agreed that these are the methods that he would use. And last little CYA disclaimer here, I promise. Safety, safety, safety. Guys, I can't stress it enough. I will be sharing my own trial by fire methods and safety precautions that I used, but the skills and confidence and choice to try it yourself, that's up to you. All right, the tools that I needed to get the job done for our fresh out-of-the-box M&P-15, a vise, a BFH, it's a big effing hammer if you didn't know, a very wide-faced punch, a 1/8 inch punch, and of course, some heat. Honestly, guys, this might be a little overkill. A little butane lighter torch or even a heat gun will probably also get the trick done. Let's get started. First thing above all, very important here, these are 99% of the time a tapered pin holding the gas block on, meaning there's only one way out. How can you tell? Well, a pair of calipers will tell you, like this pin being around 14/10 of an inch on the fat side and a bit under 13/10 of an inch on the skinny side. I also noticed rough metal pushed out around the little side, which led me to believe that that was the pounding side. But calipers for sure to know for sure. After that, the rest is pretty dang easy. Pinch the gas block in the vise as hard as you can. This thing is dead to you. We're gonna throw it away. Skinny pin side up to force it down and out. About 5 seconds of direct heat, then a large wide punch to get the pin started. Don't be worried about mushrooming this side. The larger surface area pin, it works here in your favor. Might need 5 more seconds of heat, and then it's out with the 1/8 inch punch to finish the job. So easy. Little tip here, you might need a rubber persuader hammer to free up the gas block once the pin is free. And guys, don't forget to remove your muzzle device first, like I did. Now it's off with that Delta ring assembly, and almost any AR-15 armor's wrench out there will be able to do that. And then it's all downhill from here. Handguards, episode number 5 in our series. The world is now your oyster for options because almost every handguard out there will include the gear that you need to install it, specifically a barrel nut to replace that old Delta ring. Don't need to bore you to death with all that handguard info. It's in there in that episode, but I gotta pause for a sec and show off this Stinger VLCN handguard. It's my first time with it hands-on, and not only hits all my warm and fuzzies, but yes, these are usable M-lock slots beyond your standard 3, 6, and 9 o'clock position on most other handguards. Last bit before we talk about gas block options. This gas tube, yes, it's perfectly reusable if you want to save yourself about 15 bucks. You can pop it out easy with a 1/16 inch roll pin punch. But that said, everyone attempting to do the same here, please do yourself a favor. pick up a lost parts kit with replacement springs and pins and what's not. There's a bunch of them out there. Back to the task at hand. Old block is off. You picked up a gas block of your choice, and if you need help choosing that gas block, we cover that one all in episode number 4 of the AR-15 series. The links are all below. For today, we're going with the proven, reliable, cost-effective, lifetime warranty AT3 low-profile gas block, 0.75-inch diameter. And now, we gotta get that gas tube roll pin set first. The easiest way I found to set that roll pin is with a pair of flat face channel locks like these, a little pair of needle nose, and a couple squeezes to get it seated. So easy. Let's talk gas block alignment next, which is pretty important to get right as well. What's always worked for me, and we do a lot of these around here, is bring on the gas block, get it as centered as you can, give it a light twist to hold it in place, bring in the handguard, and then use the Picatinny rail on top of the handguard to really center that gas block. Once you have it close, pull the handguard off, tighten her down. Good to go. Just like that, brand newish rifle with the handguard on, and we are on to swapping triggers now. Okay, now on to triggers for reals. Sorry, not sorry for duping you there. Guys, our 3rd or 4th most popular video we've ever done to date is about triggers, episode number 11 of the series. I walk you through stages, pull weights, take up, break, reset, tons more. Everything you need to truly grade whether your trigger is good enough or should be considered for DXing, decommissioning. So, not gonna yak at you for another 15 minutes about triggers. Go check that episode out. But for today, man, at this point, as for me as a regular shooter and from nearly 2 decades of being behind MilSpec triggers, this thing, that MilSpec trigger, is got to go. It's got to go, guys. We are now in a time in the firearms industry where much smoother, much crisper, much less gritty feeling triggers are out there, and you can get them for under 40 or 50 bucks. Point is, whether you're dropping coin on a trigger today or setting aside your favorite one on the wish list for later, I'm going to go out on a limb and be bold here and say almost anything is better than a MilSpec trigger. I've squeezed a lot of dang triggers. It's the way I feel about them, but that's me, and actually that's a lot of the other shooters in the community too. I'm sure you all went and earmarked that trigger episode for later, but now let's talk about the MilSpec-y bolt catch. I'll tell you what, if there's one thing that I despise the most, it's completely taking my shooting and supporting hands away from their homes in order to lock the bolt to the rear. It's despicable. Now, obviously there are solutions to this problem. My favorite being something like the Phase 5 extended bolt catch, which is steel, by the way, and brings your bolt catch and subsequent release right next to your trigger finger. Issues with this setup: space in the trigger well. Hey, some of us, or you, have sausage fingers, or shoot in the colder environments with thick gloves, meaning real estate in the trigger well fills up pretty quick. You could also swap out your trigger guard to help accommodate, but at the end of the day, this black anodized gritty bolt catch from the factory can easily be swapped out with a roll pin punch and put the new catch of your desires in. We're using pink here for demonstrational purposes, unless you're into that kind of thing. Tips on the roll pin punches for swapping out your OEM bolt catch. Man, if you can, get your hands on one of these flat-sided punches like Real Avid or Obsidian Arms. It'll save you from scuffs on your receiver if that really matters to you. Otherwise, aluminum black is every AR builder's friend to help make scuffs disappear. Hey, you know what? At this point, with the minimal amount of, quote, gunsmithing that we've done today, we're actually closer to a full AR-15 build versus buying another one off the shelf. It's exactly the conversation I'm going to send you to next. Right over here, it's building versus buying. I'm here to tell you, both camps are 100% valid and acceptable, but find out why. Building versus buying ARs is next.